Blech. I always thought I'd be too embarrassed to let the internet see me in my underwear, but I guess I'm not that shy. G'day folks, it's DIY Guy 123 here, bringing you another do-it-yourself video. Today we're going to be changing the rear differential fluid in a 2019 F-150. This will be the same for any rear-wheel drive that has a rear differential that looks like this is probably going to be almost the same. So the first thing you do is take it for a drive to heat the fluid up so that it drains better and to mix all the particulate and any kind of debris that's in the oil. You don't want it resting on the bottom, you want it mixed in the fluid so that when the fluid drains out, the debris comes too. Next, you get it up in the air, and I've taken some brake cleaner and gone around the interface between the cover and the differential with a plastic brush and just cleaned it up and then blew it out with compressed air. Now, the most important thing before you take a rear differential cover off and drain the fluid, you make sure you can get the fill plug loose. So this is on the passenger side. That takes a 3/8 ratchet with no socket. Wow. Oh, it's full, but dirty. We have a lot of wiring that goes to each of the calipers. You literally just pull these little plastic clips off of the threaded stud and then slide this off. Move the wire harness out of the way, but don't flex the hard brake line. I like to take all of the bolts out except for one on the top and one on the bottom. I'll loosen them about 5 turns and then I will pry the cover loose. And that way the cover doesn't fall off and then you have all this oil that splashes at you. It'll drain slowly. You want to take a photo of where your longer studs are versus the bolts. And as you're removing the bolts, check to make sure they're all the same size. I've got all the bolts out except for these two, and these ones are loose. So now we have to pry this cover off. Some covers have a nice spot for prying or banging, and I'm not going to pry right here because if I did cause a scrape or a leak, it's going to be harder to seal than up here. So I'm going to try up nice and high. That is black. And let's see what we got here. Blech. So I'll put a rag over all of this. I'll clean that with a razor blade. You blow out all the holes. Inspect for any extra sealant that's hanging around on the perimeter of these things. And don't forget to take a brand new fresh rag and stick it in there and down and get the little puddle. And there is junk down there. You want to get all the fluid out of there so that any remaining drips will drip down and fill that puddle instead of pouring out here and ruining the seal that you're about to put on that. So here's a little tip for you. If someone over torqued the bolts or if they installed it improperly, you will have raised metal around the bolt holes. And so if you take a flat file, you can just knock those high parts down. If it's really bad, you can take a ball peen hammer and tap it down, but you'd have to have wood behind it to support it. But anyway, a file will take just the tiniest burrs off. And also where I drove that chisel in, I marked not the housing, but the pan. So I took the file and cleaned that up too. So this is the part that most people screw up. And I'm not going to claim that I'm an expert at it. However much or RTV sealant you think you need, it's less. We're going to go on the perimeter on the inside and also circling the bolt holes. If you have to have a join with your sealant, where would the join be? In other words, if you were going to go around the whole pan, you have to start at one place and stop in the other. You'd prefer to stop at the top, not at the bottom. Because if it's going to leak at that joint, and it's unlikely it will, but if it does, you want that joint to be at the top. That's the size of the bead you need. Now time to put this guy in place. There's that bolt going in there. Tighten them down hand tight in a crisscross pattern. This is the amount of RTV sealant you want sticking out. Just for reference, you saw how little I put on. Got my hand pump full of fluid here. We're gonna fill this guy up. In goes the first. I like to overfill just ever so slightly. That way, every time I check it for the next 5 years, I can pull the plug and immediately know whether it's full or not. All right, next thing you're gonna wanna do is rinse that all off with brake cleaner so that way, and the back cover too, so that way you can easily tell if there's any new leakage there. Check it in a couple days to see if you have any new drips forming. Good luck with your do-it-yourself project.